guys, I'm Ree, and this is the Need to Know. So guys, you're tuning in to my second solo episode about monogamy and polyamorous relationships. So today we're kind of gonna focus on, I originally wanted to do the pros and cons of both monogamy and polygamy, but I decided to talk about some of the topics that I see going on social media. So the three are triples, opening your relationship and adding a third partner, and then building a kingdom. So to start off, a triple is a relationship that there's three people and each of you guys are dating each other. So there's no like separate relationships, and you all share intimacy and have your own separate relationships like as pairs, as well as you are together as the triple. Under the triple is a triad, and that is when you have one partner dating the other two separately. So you guys are not like a trio, you guys don't have intimate relationships with each other. It's just one person dating the other two people separately. So that was just a little, I wanted to give you guys that information so that we can get into the second topic, which is opening up your current relationship and adding that third person. So that would be a triple. Like I said, if you guys are all going to be intimate together and share that relationship. When you guys are doing that now, you guys build a bond where you guys can each have sex with each other, and whatever, relationships and bonds that you build are going to be separate but equal, I want to say. For this particular pair that I seen on YouTube, they kind of put their relationship out there on Twitter first. If you want to see, I'm not sure what their Twitter is, but their YouTube is 3isbetter, and you can kind of see like their video. They don't really go too deep into anything right now. They kind of just answer questions that people have for them, and they talk about how they created this trio basically. And it was more so I was kind of confused about this part, but they are first pair, they were together, they're married, they have kids. I'm not sure if they're not married or married. I was kind of confused about that. The female of that relationship wanted to bring in the second female that's there. So it was the female's idea, just so you guys know. It wasn't the male's idea. It was the female's idea, and she wanted to explore having another person in their relationship, and it worked for them, it works for them, and both females have children, and they kind of like just, they're working on it. And from what I've been seeing on their social media, like they're kind of getting a lot of backlash on that, because they're like, oh, how can you just like open up a relationship and share your partner? And it's just like, the female in that relationship she was bisexual anyways, so it didn't really make a difference. She still liked girls. So it kind of was a good thing. It was pros to the whole situation. So definitely like watch that video to get a little bit more insight to like the questions you might have that I'm not answering. The last topic that is under the umbrella of polyamory. Now is under the umbrella of a poly relationship, and polyamory is where you have one dominant person, which is the male or the female, but in this situation we're going to talk about the male having multiple wives. So going back to African culture, African Muslim culture at that, they focused on having a male dominant society basically. So that male had multiple wives. In terms of these multiple wives, now you have one main wife, and then you have other wives that are to bear children and to take care of the household. The higher wife, the first wife, is always superior, and I feel like they're the dictator and they kind of they call the shots, but the man is always the dominant person in that household. Something that you probably don't know about that also is that the women and children eat together, and the man eats first and by himself, which I thought was always weird when I read about it, but that's the lifestyle that they have traditionally in that type of society. So in terms of the video that I seen about building a kingdom, was this man already had a wife and they have children, and he wanted to build his kingdom. And that meant having a sister wife. So the sister wife is for the female so that she can have somebody to help with the children and to help around the house. In this particular video, it was kind of like this woman, the the sister wife was she was just doing everything. Like, she was the maid instead of being the actual, like, the wife. I feel like there should be, to modernize that, I feel like they didn't modernize that enough, where it's like they're sharing responsibilities, and it was more so she does everything. The first wife comes home, and it's like she was patronizing her, and it's like, you know, we should be sharing the responsibility. You should come home, you know, relax, take a shower, you know, do whatever you need to do, and then, you know, you could play with the kids, or, you know, you take over or whatever else. Like, if the decision was for me to cook and then that happens, then that's fine, you know, we came to that agreement. But I feel that to modernize that, it should be equal sharing responsibility in terms of taking care of the household. Because if you have one person doing the responsibility, I would feel like a maid. I would feel like, you know, I'm not here to actually be a part of this relationship. It's supposed to be a relationship. It's not supposed to be just, you know, I take care of the house. But, you know, that's not the modernized way. I guess they didn't do it. In terms of monogamy, because this is more lean towards a polyamorous lifestyle. In terms of monogamy in America, monogamy is taught because having multiple wives or multiple partners legally it's illegal here in America. It's more of a spiritual aspect. So when you get married here, it's a legal document. In other countries, I'm not sure in every country, but other cultures, including Muslim cultures, they practice having multiple wives. But they don't have legal documents there. Like, and if they do, you know, I'm pretty sure it's legal to have multiple wives there. Here in America, you can only be married to one person. I will definitely look that up for you guys, because I'm not sure of that as well. But before, obviously, you know, in traditional, like, when it first happened, like, people weren't being documented in terms of who you were married to or not. It's more of a spiritual thing why, like, we don't practice that as well, because when you get married to multiple people, you build this bond with them. In a poly relationship, you build bonds with multiple people at a time, and you're allowed to build these bonds because you have the capacity to spiritually connect to people regardless if you're having sex with them or not. So when people think about poly relationships, they think, oh, you know, you're having sex with this person and that person, but in reality, it's not just about sex. It's about, you know, your ability to be friends with somebody and be able to intimately connect with them on a higher level than somebody else can. And you can do that with anybody. The way that you connect with somebody and you bond with somebody, and the way that you share, that is very important. So even if you feel that it will be heightened because you have sex now, that's something you add on later to your relationship, because you feel that's going to grow your connection to them in a good way. Some people think that's a negative thing, because it's like, why are you having sex with all these people? But in reality, it's like, that just brings you closer as a person and as a pair. Something that, you know, it's just not normalized here, because people think that you're supposed to be with one person, and, you know, you're supposed to be with one person, and that it's not good to share or be intimate with other people, when in fact intimacy is your ability to connect and to bond. So if you're able to connect to somebody, you shouldn't be monogamous in that way. You should be monogamous maybe with your sexual partner, which is fine, you can do that, but you don't have to be monogamous in you building connections with people. Something I think is a good example, positive monogamous relationship is you are able to have multiple bonds with people without sex. So you're having sex with one person, but you are able to freely be able to flirt with people and build connections, and, you know, have that loose, what is the word I'm looking for? Loose interaction. I feel that's a good word. A loose interaction with them. So it's like, if you have to be stiff around somebody because your partner is there, you know, that's not you, because you're filtering yourself for somebody. And it shouldn't go that way. You should be able to freely express yourself, whether it's I touch you on the leg, or, you know, I pat you on the back, or I kiss you on the cheek. Like, I should be able to freely do these things, because this is how I bond with you, or this is my way that I bond with whoever it is that I need to bond with to build a deeper connection. That is also, you can also make that seem like a poly relationship, because if you I feel like everybody's in that type of situation, because it's like you go out on dates with your friends all the time. That's a date. Like, you know, you are sharing this intimate moment with your friend because you have this bond or this connection with them. So you're able to freely do that. If you're not able to freely do that, then, you know, there's something going wrong there. Spirituality plays a big part in being in a poly relationship. And it goes back to religion, and it goes back to, you know, it goes back to way, like a bunch of traditions. It's just more so you're able to, and I'm always gonna say connections, because it has to do with so many connections. It has to do with how you are able to mold and shape this relationship with this person, because your intimacy is there. You connected to this person spiritually. Like, if you've ever been in love, that's a good way to express or to correlate spirituality, because you are able to see, like, you feel the energy that somebody feels with you. Like, if you fell in love, like, you connect with that person very well. Like, you guys at that moment, especially if it's at that moment that you guys are feeling it, you're going to be able to really be like, wow, like, I feel how you feel, or I am in this space, I am one with you right now. Like, I feel like that's something that people don't share. And you can feel that, you can share that with a friend as well. Like, if you're very in tune with a friend, you're always gonna have that bond or that connection, because it's like you always see eye to eye. I feel like that's a good, like, simplified thing. Like, you're always gonna see eye to eye, you're always gonna feel comfortable, you're always gonna be one. And I feel like that's a good thing. But always know that's like, your spiritual mind has to be very free in terms of understanding or just being able to experience a poly relationship, because you have to be free. You know, you have to let go of the things that we are taught. So we can be monogamous, but we don't have to we can always break the rules in something. People think that you're not supposed to break the rules. You can break the rules in anything. People that think that the best person in the world break the rules all the time. You know, so it's like, you should be able to break the rules to make you feel comfortable as well. So if that means, you know, you're able to freely flirt with who you want to flirt, but you're always gonna have this one person to be intimate with and passionate about, that is perfectly fine. That is a healthy way to be monogamous. And in terms of being poly relationship, a good positive way to be that is to maintain great communication. You know, tell that person that you're always with, oh, I'm gonna go out with such and such today, or I'm gonna be with such and such today. You can call me after, I'll call you after, or we could talk during this time because this person might take a nap, who knows. But also tell that other person, like, yeah, you know, my partner is gonna call me at this time, blah, blah, blah. Like, always be able to freely communicate with whoever your partners are and be able to understand. It's good to understand. You don't have to always accept. A lot of people at this, especially this day and age, like, they're not completely comfortable with who they are. And especially this age group that especially we are right now, we're trying to find ourselves. And I feel like if you didn't know a piece of yourself like before, it's gonna be hard to find that piece in the future. Like, for me, I feel like my path is more getting there, not who I am. Like, I'm at that, I already passed that stage. Like, who am I? Like, I got that already. And I feel like people in this age are trying to figure that out. Or it's like somebody told them that this is who you are, and they're like, wait, but this is not who I am. So I feel like, you know, being romantic with people is hard when you're taught something and when you absorb something. And then when you want something different and you see something different. So it's like people who don't know about poly relationships, they're seeing it and they're like, oh wow, like, I do these things, or like, I would be comfortable with that. Yeah. But they were never taught that, or they don't even know what that is. Mm-hmm. So it's like opening up the doors, you should at least try to understand it, even if you don't accept it. Free is whatever you believe free is. I don't have no updates, but buy my book, of course, buy my book. You already know the vibes. You can purchase it on my website, SerenaCastillo.org, or you can search it up on Google. Drugs of Love and Sex, you put my full name, Serena Castillo, and it should pop up. It should be on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. You can buy it on Lulu, which I publish it on, or you can actually buy a copy from me. If you get it from me, I will sign it, just so you know. So definitely let me know. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, now you know. My second book will be out within a year. I'm giving you guys a little sneak peek about it. It is a collection of short stories. That is my genre. I do write fiction. You can check out my other work on my website. $5 to purchase a story. And I am looking for photographers if you want to submit your photo to me to be the feature of my short stories. My first two was my wonderful partner. So definitely it's all the advertisements for you, and it will just be the cover and the face of my short story. Other than that, if you want a job done, Serena Castillo Edits, that's my Instagram. My Instagram and my Twitter is Re The Host. And of course, make sure you follow the Wonderful Shows page on Instagram and Twitter. It's TNTK Show. As always, thank you for watching the show. And that's all you need to know. Bye, guys.